Happy Saturday. It's Mob Guppy, where the Guppy is the mob. Got some Pure Life water here. Awesome. How are you doing? It is a busy Saturday. We had rain overnight, a little chilly here right now. It's 50 degrees, and yeah, life's good. Got junk done around, ready to go get some stuff in place. Yeah, life's good. How are you guys doing? What's going on in your fish room? It's I have a gift that I'm going to be giving to my LFSs today. I have a tank that I have, essentially when I moved into this, there was a mix up. It's my big tank, a 65-gallon tank, really not even supposed to be a guppy tank. I swear to you, I have brought to my local fish stores hundreds of guppies, hundreds. So there you go. So today I'm going to do pretty much the same thing. I mean, it's this tank, they are breeding like absolute fish, guppies aggressively. So how you doing? Life is good. Doug Gray in the house, the secret interdimensional time traveler, Peter Thiel. Yeah. It's No Shave November, and there's like a bet at the office. It's about who can keep it the longest. Yeah, I have grown a mustache before. It wasn't quite a good look. Did that about a decade ago. Kept it on for about 6 months. And now I'm doing the beard. And the beard thing, I have to have this done until the 30th. So on the 1st of December, I'm going to go taking care of it. Melvin, how are you? Melvin, you didn't say hi to me first? What's the deal? What gives? A beard will get me on Ancient Aliens? I was going to ask Katie Holmes about what it's like to be a beard. All right, Melvin. All right, all good. Yeah, so let's see. In my little world, I have to do a work thing tonight. So I will be out late doing a work event, which is fine. I have no problem with it at all. I like the work. It's just it's a few hours out of my life. Now that I'm getting older, that's 3 minutes, 3 hours you can't get back. Yeah, so let's see what else is going on in my little world. I just been just busier than heck. Lots going on in the fish room, lots going through. Thanksgiving, I will not be doing a show on Thanksgiving because I will be driving back from Chicago. Not that Saturday following Thanksgiving. I'll be driving back from Chicago, and since I don't have 1,000 followers yet, I can't do it live in my car, which I would have. So there you go. Looking forward to going down and at my sister's house. Yeah, the blonde Ukrainian war bride is yet to show up. What's not to like about me? I got a dog, got a bunch of fish aquariums. A snappy dresser, as you can tell by the sweatshirt. Yeah. Life goes on. Life's good. You think they would have shown up by now? You signed me up for it for 3 times? Yep, not yet. They haven't shown up yet. Not Lovely War Bride. Okay, here's something funny. Next door neighbors trying to set me up with the woman across the street. The woman across the street's a very nice lady, but if it doesn't work out, she's a homeowner, I'm a homeowner. It's a bad idea. If it works out, it's great. If it doesn't, it's a really bad idea because eventually I'll be dating somebody other than her, and so there you go. Well, that means, Melvin, that the mayor of Chicago should just give it up to you. Turn it over. Your family, and you're the one who should be in charge. So there you go. Doug Gray, I have a question for you. What were you doing Thursday night? The were you watching the Eagles game or the Phillies game? And you can't really be watching them both. You got to be focused in on one of them. How'd you do it? You're watching the Phillies game. You must have jinxed them. It had nothing to do with you. And by the way, and I can't believe I'm saying this, company not excluded here, is that at no point in my life did I ever think I was going to be supporting a Philly team. But here I am. I'm thrilled that the Phillies go out. I want the Phillies to beat the Astros. I want them to beat the cheaters. Yeah, I want them out. But the only thing with the redeeming value for the Houston Astros for me is Dusty Baker. Only Houston and Mets fans are rooting for the Astros. Yeah, probably. Now, I will say this: Dusty Baker, it's he's never gotten over the hump. Part of me goes, well, if they win it, at least I can be happy for Dusty. But I can't be happy for the rest of that team. Everybody likes Dusty Baker. It's against the law not to love Dusty Baker. And they were very smart as an organization to hire him. Very smart. Everybody has respect for him. And he's never won the big thing. It's yeah. I enjoy Dusty Baker a whole lot. Really enjoy him. Yeah, Melvin, who doesn't? Find me a person. I think he has an ex-wife. I bet you his ex-wife doesn't have anything bad to say about him. I mean, that's how well loved this guy is. And I mean, he's 73. He's been doing this for a long time. He let's see, maybe I think he's on his second marriage, but let's take a look. And yeah, he has a couple of wives. And so best to the guy. I bet his ex-wife doesn't even have bad things to say about him. And there's something to be said about that. It's like Ryan Reynolds. Scarlett Johansson has nothing bad to say against him. And he left Scarlett Johansson for Blake Lively. You see? It's like a win-win. Are you no longer a Pirates fan, Mayor Melvin? I'm a Twins fan till I die, and I am a Vikings fan till I die. Because where I am in Missouri, yeah, I follow the Cardinals a little bit and follow the Chiefs a little bit. Nicest, and I will tell you this: I've lived in places where you can't stand the teams. You just can't stand them. You wake up with just you just can't stand the teams, and it's really tough to have a real big dislike for the Cardinals and the Chiefs. It's they're well-run organizations. It's best to them, and so there's something to be said about that. Being a well-run organization with good people, yeah, I mean that's nice. So rare in this world. Do you find that? So rare. Most of the time you find, yeah, you find the team's obnoxious. University of Alabama, the Roll Tide. I was there in their bad years, which was great. I was in Alabama from 96 through 2002, and they were pretty much terrible every year. They had some years where they were pretty good, but most of the years not very good. So that was great. And the Bama fans are obnoxious. Auburn fans were terrific. I could sit there and root for them. It was a good group. When I was in New York, I didn't have a real hate for any of the teams. I just thought the Jets and Mets fans were really weird. They wanted to root for a team that's losing, which is insane. Normally, you root for a team that is winning. That's what you like. It's they rooted for the Jets and the Mets, and one of these guys was explaining this to me. He goes, "It's too easy to cheer for the Giants, too easy to cheer for the Yankees. Well, not in the last 4 or 5 years. Both those teams, not especially the Giants, not that good. In fact, in many ways, the Jets may be better than the Giants this year. So there you go." All right. Well, that's fine. I've put up with the cheap owners of my Twins, but the cheap owners did bring 2 World Series to Minnesota. And I will say this. And both Melvin, you and Doug have experienced this. When you're in a community that wins what baseball, football, NBA, hockey, doesn't matter. wins the world championship. Really tough not to cheer for him. Yeah, my curiosity is I think that the Twins organization didn't know what they had with Big Poppy. He was a young player. You're still getting it all together. I don't think they understood it. And really, he could have been Kirby Puckett 2.0 for that city. So, yeah. Yeah, it's chubby. Just hadn't put it all together. These athletes, we like to think when they get to the NFL or NBA or Major League Baseball or NHL that they're a finished product. They're not, especially baseball. You can be a pretty good fielder, you can have a couple of things going for you, but your bat may not be there. It takes you a long time to sort of figure that out. And that's part of the deal. Takes you a while to put those things together. Quarterbacks in the NFL were way too impatient for them. Philadelphia, by the way, is an excellent thing. Yeah. No, Ortiz was great. Philadelphia is a great example, by the way, with this Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is the real deal. And you could sort of see it in college. And I would love to replay, what I've said to buddies. I remember when people were saying, well, I don't know, they're going to have to get another quarterback. It's just not going to work. They get rid of Carson Wentz. They go with Jalen Hurts. And people shook their heads, but the guy's a winner. And he wants to be a winner. I think the big question for New York, I think Daniel Jones, they know what they have. It's been, 4 or 5 years. Doug Peterson drafted Hurts. Yep. I think they knew what they have with Daniel Jones with the Giants. And the Mormon kid with the pretty mommy. It's the most interesting thing about the Jets. I think he can play. I just think the deal is with him is he getting the maturity of it? And I think that's the big question. He certainly has been, he at least looks like he could be playing in the NFL, unlike Daniel Jones. The kid with Chicago, Justin Fields, this guy is an NFL quarterback. Yeah, the Steelers trade Claypool, and I think the deal was with getting rid of Claypool is that he was his third year, and they didn't know if he had everything together for how they wanted to use him. It's and against the Bears that got him. But I'll say this Justin Fields is the real deal. I know all about him. He is the real deal. You could see him when he played at Ohio State. The real deal. So there you go. So few, you go in these guys who get to the NFL as quarterbacks. They give them such a small ramp up. And it used to be, and Melvin, you may remember this, Doug and I certainly do, is that you got a new quarterback, they gave you 4 years to figure it out. And if the guy didn't figure out, that's when you cut bait. Now you get past year 2, and they want to cut bait because they think, okay, this is what we have, that he's not going to get any better. I don't think it works that way. You got to allow people to grow into the position. And by the way, Kenny Pickett for the Steelers, I don't know if he will ever be a great quarterback. It's obvious, though, he's better than Mitch Trubisky and he's better than Mason Rudolph. So it's there's just no question that he's a better player than both of them, has a greater upside potential. You sort of know what you have with Mitch Trubisky. You sort of know what you have with Mason Rudolph, and that's called backup quarterback. It's not a great starting QB. Seems like nice enough, again, is Kenny Pickett going to be a starting quarterback in the NFL for a long time? Is he a star quarterback? Is he going to be that top 5 or 6 quarterbacks in the league? I have no idea. I don't know. I wish I could tell you. I don't know. And anyone who thinks they can tell you, they need to figure that out, because that ain't it's a real difficult thing to figure in. So it's, it's like the Niners, the kid that they got, injured. I don't even know if that guy's going to play another snap in the NFL. Yeah, but I'll tell you what, with the NFL, if you're not showing it by year 2, they don't want you there. They don't want you there. They just don't. I wish that was it's Jacksonville will give a Trey Lance, who I was thinking with the Niners, and the kid from Clemson who's playing at Jacksonville. They're going to give him a little time. Everything says that guy's going to work out, but it's Jacksonville. So yeah. So let's see, what else do I know here, gang? Yeah, it's the fish itself, they're doing great, man. It's I've as I do water changes, I'm changing out a lot of my sponge filters. There are some that are just these hanging ones. I don't have them all out yet, but I will. Got rid of Matt Canada. Yeah, it's say what you want. It's getting a good quarterback. It's the Packers are a weird animal. They have 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks in a row. Normally that does not happen. Normally you have one, and then you have like what's happened in New England. You go from the greatest of all time to Mac Jones, who I don't think can play. I do think that the Zappy kid may be able to play, but they don't as of yet. So there you go. They're trying to figure out whether this guy is a winning deal. So let's see here. What else is going on with the fish? Just been Tom Brady's son will be ready in 10 years. If he can play, by the way, is so rare. If you think about this, how many guys are playing in the NFL right now and how few of their kids get to that level? NBA is pretty much the same thing. If you get a second generation, yeah, good luck. Yeah, Manning's basically. Yeah. And not saying that either of Tom's kids won't be able to play in the NFL. I have no idea. Look at Michael Jordan. His sons, of course, were good players, but not great players. They also were like 6'2". They were not, it just wasn't in the cards for them. I do like how Michael Jordan's son has been taking out Larissa Pippen, the ex-wife of Scottie Pippen. Hilarious. But you go through in these second generation, third generation, the only sport, and I have a problem calling it a sport. The only thing where you see the kid of somebody get into it and do well is NASCAR. But you have to look at NASCAR as a sport, and which I don't. It's a skill, but these are not athletes in the formal sense of the word. Very rarely do you see second generation boxers, Floyd Mayweather being an exception. His father was a journeyman fighter. He became a great fighter, but very rarely do you see that. It's very rarely. So it's, yeah, it is what it is. It very rarely do you see that. Yeah, that's an exception, Melvin. That's a good one to bring up. Del Curry's kids, Steph and Seth, playing in the association. Yep, very rare. And neither of those guys are quote unquote, have the NBA sort of build and feel of what they want to see with a player. They just happen to be really good at their skills, especially obviously Steph. But Seth is very is very good. But there's hundreds of players that have gone through the NBA, and so few of them, their kids get through. Like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's son, yeah, he threatened to kill a neighbor. Looks like he's going to jail. Yeah, it happens. Baseball, it happens a little bit more, mainly because the skills of baseball are, can you hit a curveball? You can be a really good baseball player, but if you can't hit a curveball, then that's the issue. It's can a kid of a major league baseball player learn how to hit a curveball better? Probably so. Doug, yes, it's illegal now. Tim Hardaway's kid, yep, another exception. But it's not common. It just isn't that common. And it is, it's it looked for a while. Shaq had a son, looked like it was NBA bound, but had a heart deal. I think that he had heart surgery, and I don't think Shaquille's son has, I don't think this kid is going to be well, his way. What's the Sharif? I think is the name of the son. That yeah, Sharif is in the G League. So there you go. And it's obvious he's not, he's not dad. So even though he's 6'10", yeah, so he has another son that is playing for Texas Southern. Okay, so this is a kid that's probably not going to do it. Sure, he's a fine young man. I think Shaq's raised good kids. So there you go. Yeah, that's where Shaq's kid is too, Melvin. That's where he is. He must be chilling with Avril Lavigne, Doug, and going in and chilling with Netflix with Avril. She's probably serving him grapes while under a bearskin rug. Which seems like a great thing. Bearskin rug is strong. Yeah, Avril Lavigne. How old is she getting to be? Yeah, she's near 40. And she's 38. Perhaps she saved her eggs. And she's a French lady. Born in France. except Alanis Morissette's married. Chewy says he's 28. Yeah, he likes the cougar. Likes the cougar. Is pro cougar. Pretty much as he should be. Let's see an update on the California Reds. I have my last thing. I'm not going to be shipping fish until after, probably end of January, depending on the weather. So this is the last week because the shipping right now is just nuts. So it's, that's where we're going to be. So the California Reds, I have, I set up several new tanks with them. I move fish around. And I'm getting lots of baby California Reds. And good times. They're coming along really well. I am in favor of them. And the swordtails are doing well. There's a cross I've been working on that just isn't happening. So it won't be today. It'll be in the next week or so. I have a couple of tanks of those. I think I'll be bringing them to one of the LFSs and just letting them go from there. allowing them to enjoy. Yeah, the California Reds are the deal, man. And I just gotta be I'm gonna move a couple of males out of one tank that aren't quite the way I want them to look. It's obviously getting a solid red and is the deal. And my goal is, and they say this is genetically impossible, but I'm working on it, an all red swordtail. So I'm not there yet, but I think with the California Reds, I may be able to do that. So the all red swordtail. How many tanks of swordtails are you up to, Doug? Yeah, platies. I've never really worked with platies. My buddy James Sears, who's a big guppy guy as well, he's big into the platies. You now have 5 tanks of swordtails. Be careful; they'll take over your entire fish room. They're pretty prolific. Pretty prolific all the way around. You can't go wrong with that at all. So let's see here. Um, you know, um, yeah, the California Reds, yeah, they're the deal. Swordtails are good. Pretty happy with them. By the way, those have you, Doug? I don't. You haven't had the Rona yet. You haven't had COVID yet. Melvin, have you had COVID? I will tell you, post COVID, um, my sniffer, the nose on smelling stuff, that's changed pretty dramatically. Pretty dramatically, it has changed. You had a mild case? Yeah, mine was reasonably mild. And it was, mid-September. Since then, my sense of smell has not returned. In fact, everything smells like garbage. Just doesn't smell good at all. I'm glad you've enjoyed it, Melvin. I kept away until September 19th was the day September 18th is the day I tested positive for it. It was good times. And then since that moment, yeah, the sense of smell thing, it's that'll be that's the thing that has sort of not changed. I will say this, I've had a little bit of brain fog, not quite as fast as I normally am. Biggies, what's up? Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the thing about recovering from the Rona for me. I know people who've lost their taste. Taste is okay for me. It's just the smell or the sniffer. Doesn't smell that good. Thanks, Melvin. I don't know why you guys didn't get a notification from our fine fellowship of good people. I'm all in on that. So it's by the way, speaking of I've been watching carefully uh hey, New England Endler. Hey, no, you're fine. You're fine. It's here's everybody. Um, you know, I will say this about this year's NFL. Uh the offense hasn't been as fun. It's the last few years you had a lot of shootouts. Now we have a lot of games that are like what we have a Thursday night game that was 12-9 or some ungodly you know kick a field goal showdown. Yeah, I want to see a lot of touchdowns. That's all I want. A lot of touchdowns. Simple as that may seem. I want to watch the game. I want to see these guys throw deep passes, make touchdowns. And there you go. So it's Doug, are you at 95 aquariums right now? I'm still at 14 set up. I have more to do, but I've just been work has been so insanely busy that it's finally getting looser end of this week. So that's good. Pretty much 95. You have a few that you have to clean set back up. Yep. Who's played the lottery for tonight? I have in for the lottery. I got a couple of tickets. $1.6 billion. You might as well throw in $2. There's a lot of Ukrainian ladies I could help. I could start, I could actually start a movement just to help damsels in distress from the Ukraine. I'm a simple man. These are ladies that are in distress. I'm pro saving them. Yeah, do you know what? I keep stalking Giselle. I'm expecting a cease and desist order at any moment. I've got to find her business address so I can send her some roses. And by the way, the second Giselle, I have a feeling, Doug Gray, that John Fetterman's wife may be a widow sooner than later. Holy capoli, this poor guy. Strokes are not good, everybody. Take care of your health. Watch your health. It's a really important deal. Yeah, she may be widowing before you know it there with that type of health. That type of health, there you go. It's, what is it? All the Brazilian women named Giselle. It's a heck of a deal. Now, I did work with a Brazilian lady who was very fetching, by the way. Unfortunately, I had something at the time called a wife. It's I had something called a wife, and her name was Juliana. And yeah, very pretty. They say, by the way, you know why so many models come from. In fact, I think it was 60 Minutes had this. Why so many models come from Brazil? Because they all have that exotic type of thing. There's several, ethnic groups that have come together. Obviously, Portuguese, Germans, the native Brazilians. You have some Spanish. So it's a wide group of people that So it's so the women are exotic, and for the modeling thing, we like seeing exotic. We like seeing a gal who is, gorgeous, all the right bone structure, but they have kind of an exotic look to them. That's very helpful for that career. And again, folks, I don't claim to know everything about the modeling world. I'll just tell you, I'm all about exotic beauty. So there you go. All right, gang, I got to run some errands. We will do this again next week. And I will see you later. You got to buy a single family homes built. Yeah. Dark skinned women. Yeah. It's a multi-ethnic. So there's some melanin in the skin. Yep. All right, gang. We'll see you next week. Adios, mi amigos.